Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. All right, so today I'm in Marina Del Rey, California, and I'm at the Korea Conference 2024, and I was able to get Alina on the show for a quick interview. Alina, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Adam.
All right, Alina, so we're in beautiful Marina Del Rey. We're at the Korea Conference. What are you looking forward to?
I'm just looking forward, of course, to meeting like-minded people, just like, while we're all here, because ultimately we all have one goal: to raise money to make the world somehow a better place through impact investing, through profit investing, for-profit, not-for-profit, and so on. And when people collaborate, obviously, like-minded people collaborate, beautiful things happen.
Amazing. And I understand you're a CEO, you're an entrepreneur, advisor, many things. Maybe tell me a little bit about your background and how you got started.
Sure. Well, my parents pushed me out of Eastern Europe and said that I really should be finding myself elsewhere, outside of the wings of my grandpas and grandmas.
Were they entrepreneurs too? Was it kind of?
No, not at all. My dad actually is a biologist and a geneticist. And my mom was at the roots of building investment banking industry in Russia, which was very, very
wow.
Yeah, so I got a little bit of...
It was in the blood a little bit on both sides.
Yeah, well, my mom had super strong influence on me, but also my dad with his love of nature and camping. So I like very fine things, but I also very deeply connected with nature, which is actually, thank you so much for these questions, because it just helped me realize why, no, I'm serious, I'm having this pause. Why I actually do what I do, because I wanted always to be a banker, because I always wanted to be like my mom. But I had to do like an uphill battle, I guess, a keto, like my son would say, and make it the longer route to banking. So I took public accounting in bachelor's. I went to Pace in New York. And then I studied finance for my master's. But my first job was at Credit Suisse in regulatory. And then I moved to Deloitte and Touche back then. Now it's just Deloitte. So it's very heavily focused accounting background. And then I moved to finance through regulatory, through middle office. And so when I finally made it to the investment banking on Wall Street, it was very intuitive for me, because I could read prospectuses very well, and I could see kind of the entire story of the company, not just through the sales eyes, but through the operations eyes, their risk, and the accounting, for sure, financial statements. But not to make this interview too
No, I love it. Tell me. This is great.
So, I left investment banking in 2010, because my mom moved to the States. And we started, I left it in 2009. And then we started a company, it's called Whitebridge, in 2008, 2009. So it's about 26, 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, my goodness, 26 years ago. Am I dating myself?
You're not. I'm curious but I want to talk, like, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of startup founders watch this. And I'm just curious, when you finally made that jump from, let's just call it corporate America. I mean, you were investment banking, you were doing a lot of entrepreneurial activities already anyway, just based on the nature of your business and knowledge. But when you finally made that jump, like, what was that like for you?
It was so scary. It was so scary. And, well...
For me too, by the way.
And I was actually 20 weeks pregnant at a time. So, and I was in between jobs, and nobody, fortunately, actually, would hire me.
Yeah, in retrospect, though. That's a big statement that she just said. Like, sometimes we think that, like...
I know. It was so scary. And I wanted, like I like to say, to get back right into the revolving door. Out of which I just got out, because this is what I know. I know sales trading. I know how to sell companies. I know how to raise money. I just let me back on my W-2. I don't know what I'm doing. And after first 2 years of struggles, really, and doing a lot of work for free, what goes around comes around always. And I never looked back. So 2009 through 2011 were pretty tough. And then I never looked back. But what I wanted to emphasize, the kind of the background that you asked me about. Investment banking from nature is very, very far, but that's exactly what I'm actually doing right now. After taking companies public on our own.
Did it come kind of like full circle? I don't want to put like words in your mouth, but like I'm seeing it as like, wow, so you kind of got,
I just realized that, it came full circle. So when I was taking companies public, we also played sometimes a role of IR, investor relations. We would train the management to talk to the funds from which they want to raise money, because it's very important to understand the language of each fund.
Yeah.
What are they trying to achieve? What is their mandate? Because the investors into their fund, their LPs, give them money for a certain purpose, right? So if you just do a blind pitch, it's very many times, right, it's just going to fall on deaf ears.
Yes.
So we coached management to raise money, to create, their investor base. And then I realized that a lot of investors are actually asking about things like culture, about things like, well, how would you...
And is that a little bit of a shift? Because you've been in the business a while. So like if we go back to the beginning, I don't, was that a little bit of a shift?
Profits and growth and
it's just the numbers, right? It's just the...
And investors started asking about other risks and say, have you thought of non-financial metrics?
Wow.
And
that's hopeful to me. Like, we want to make money. That's a given. That's a given. Okay. But the new consumers are smarter. Like all the things when you look further down, like downstream, like that's a hopeful thing to me for the environment, especially as you were mentioning.
Well, exactly. Yes. That's precisely right, Adam. And a lot of, especially younger investors that even have their own family offices, and Europe is a little bit more ahead.
I'd imagine that. Yeah.
They want to know that they are investing also with impact.
Yep.
Not only, give me the hard dollars, but ultimately, if we're going to damage people, damage nature, damage or somehow, disrupt the climate or, whatever, fertility of our...
Sure.
Increase acidity of our ocean. Somehow it's going to come back to haunt us, either through, shifts in weather or neighborhoods being destroyed. You'll have nowhere to lend money into or sell your products in. So younger generations definitely prefer the balance between hardcore dollars and what else can I do with it? Because I can get the profit, but I also can make an impact. And keeping in mind the great generational shift, but it's very important to understand that. So this is what I'm actually focusing on. Combination of profits and impact.
Oh my gosh. I think the listeners might be able to hear this, which is okay because I want to keep this in. We're not going to edit this out on purpose. Alina, we're about to take off. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I guess we got to cut. Captain's saying we're leaving.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate you.